Good evening, folks. Welcome to Insight right here on Consolidated Channel 18. As always, I'm your host, Brock White, joined by the Dick Express's Dustin Monkey. Dustin, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad. A little hot out there.
Oh, it's a muggy one this week for sure.
Yeah, this is.
Stay hydrated, folks.
This is not North Dakota. This is Florida.
It's hot and humid out there for sure. Joining us today in studio, the co-chair of the North Dakota Ukrainian Festival, Mr. Ian Lanela, to talk about the festival this weekend around town and what it's all about happening. A lot of stuff going on to that one.
A lot of Ukrainian words coming out there.
Big words.
Yeah,
a lot of vowels, a lot of V's, a lot of Z's. For sure, good stuff there. First, as always, though, look at the week in review, the big stories of the area this past week. There was a gap, a hole in the Dickinson City Commission, but it's being filled by a man with plenty of experience for the job, as local state rep. Mr. Mike LaForge is going to step in as a temporary position until November when they have the election and elect someone new to the seat.
Well, and Mike used to be on the park board too. I think he used to be the chair of the park board actually. So, for for quite a while there actually. But he's got plenty of experience. He's a state representative. This is literally like a 5-month thing. Yeah. So they just needed a fifth person to break ties on the city commission, everything like that. Mike is pretty big businessman in town. He's very into downtown. He's trying to build a restaurant downtown, so he knows a lot about what's going on in Dickinson. It's a good appointment.
Lifelong resident, plugged in the community.
Short-term appointment like that, it's great. So Mike will do a fine job. But yeah, it sounds like Jason Frederick is going to run again.
Step up.
He was the third person out of 3 in the race for 2 city commission spots earlier this year in June. And then it sounds like Peggy O'Brien from the mall might be running too.
Interesting.
She expressed interest in the vacant position too, but she had also expressed interest in running next November. So I don't think she's confirmed that yet, but Jason has confirmed that he will be running.
I'd imagine by early September we'll have some more names in the hat, maybe.
Oh yeah, I remember that one year we had like 7 people for 1 spot. So there's going to be several people probably seeking this position now that it's open again. I highly doubt that we finish with just Jason and Peggy as our 1 and 2 options.
I imagine
there.
At least 2 more probably.
At least. And I think there's a couple people out there that are being asked that haven't quite made that decision yet. But I think overall it's a couple of pretty good candidates so far, and we'll see where it ends up.
For sure. Dustin, for a few years Dickinson was literally flying high with our airline services. We had
puns.
We had United Airlines. We had Delta. Great Lakes. We had 3 at one time. With the decline of the oil boom, with things slowing down and the boardings going down, Delta pulled out a little over almost a year ago.
About a year ago, yeah.
Great Lakes left a couple years ago when United and Delta came in because competition kind of forced them out. United, though, was looking at leaving themselves, but due to some government regulations, they're going to stick around and provide daily service out of Dickinson.
Yeah, the government's going to help us out a little bit there, it sounds like, and help keep United here with some subsidies. Kind of the same thing that is why we had Great Lakes Aviation here forever, was because the government subsidized them being here. Now United is going to take part in that program as well to stay here in Dickinson. We need an airline. Period. We have an airport. We can't not have an airline if we have an airport. And
depends how you feel about government subsidies in airlines.
Yeah, don't worry, they're plenty subsidized elsewhere too. I think we're a drop in the bucket when it comes to that stuff. But overall, we can't. I don't think Great Lakes, do they even exist anymore? Are they,
yeah, basically
I don't think many people would welcome them back if they were here.
We all have our Great Lakes stories from back in the day.
Yes, exactly.
I've got a few of them.
I think my mom has one where the plane almost crashed.
Yeah.
So
being stuck in Denver for 2 or 3 days at a time.
Oh yeah. So and I've flown United, I've flown Delta. I was really sad to see Delta go because they were a pipeline to Minneapolis for us, and that was great.
Convenient.
It was very convenient. But now we still have that line to Denver here with United, and it sounds like we'll keep that.
Yeah, and it has to go to a major hub, an international airport, where it has to go to. So Minneapolis or Denver are the 2 logical options, and sounds like service to Denver will continue out of Dickinson.
Yeah, sounds good. I've always said we need to get one that jumps us to like Missoula.
Now there is like that. If boardings do fall below the magical number, the threshold of 10,000, it comes in review. But it sounds like
we're good there. Yeah. I believe we're at 7,500 right now for the year. So, and that's like I said, it's not even including the Christmas and Thanksgiving
2008 or 9, Great Lakes was doing 3,000 to 4,000, right, at the time.
Yes.
So even then, we were still getting our services and being taken care of.
And we're well beyond what we were back when we just had Great Lakes.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine, I think. And if Dickinson does boom again, if it does pick up here, activity does pick up, the flights do pick up.
Well,
I think
we
you'll
talked
see-
about too off air. There's expansions of the airport happening. The
Yes.
runways, some FAA regulations taking place to
Yes.
improve things there, and maybe better suited for bigger airliners down the road. And if things do kind
Well,
of ramp up again,
One would hope that the Dickinson Airport takes this time to kind of like,
breathe,
breathe,
get their
and
house
then
in order.
try to fix up that terminal a little bit, because it is pretty, I hate to say the word podunk when you go through there, but I'm not the first one that ever said that. I'm hoping that they can fix up a few little things. I will say this, their security there is still better than some of the bigger airports that I've been through. So, I mean, they do a good job of screening us there. And it's very respectful as well. In some places I've been to, it's pretty...
Isn't so respectful.
Yeah.
TSA can be a very interesting
So
experience for some
Dickinson does a
folks.
good job there, but I just feel like hopefully they're going to use this time to make sure that they streamline that airport process.
Dustin, you had a really interesting conversation earlier this week with, what's his title?
Christopher Giancarlo, he's a commissioner for the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
Okay.
It's
Say
a
that 5 times fast.
Yeah, exactly. CFTC. CFTC is what we call them.
Okay.
But it's
He
one of
was in
those, it's
town
not a house,
with-
like I'm going to talk about it in my monkey business segment, it's not a household name at all. I mean, the Federal Commodity
I have no
Futures Trading
clue what it
Commission.
is.
But what they do is they're the regulatory agency for
Futures.
for futures and for commodity trading. So it was very interesting to see him come out here, learn more about the energy industry. He spent a lot of time in South Dakota, in western North Dakota, western South Dakota, learning about energy commodities, such as oil and gas, and then coal as well a little bit, and then cattle and wheat futures too. So he spent time down in Wall, South Dakota, my mom's hometown, visiting with a grain terminal there. He came up to northwestern South Dakota and talked with ranchers about cattle. Then he came here and talked about oil, and he headed up to the northwest side of the state and
What was
talked
his
about
message
a little bit of
about
both.
commodities and oil?
See, he didn't really have a message. He came here to learn.
Oh.
Which is, hey, a federal regulator comes out here to say, tell me what you know, instead of I'm going to tell you what I know.
That's what you always hear in the coffee shops
Right.
around the area as well. They don't know the story. They're in
exactly.
Washington in their office. They don't come here with
Right.
their boots in the ground.
And so Heitkamp got him out here, set him up with Ron Ness, the North Dakota Petroleum Council president, who we've had as a guest on this show before, and then Justin Bethencourt, who is the Bakken operations manager for ConocoPhillips. And Justin knows what he's talking about. He has lived all over the world with oil. He is Indonesia, Texas, everywhere. Ron obviously knows his stuff as well. And Heitkamp, she sits on the egg committee in the Senate. So, and I believe they have they oversee the Federal Trade Commodities Commission. So, futures trading company. See, it's CFTC.
It's tough,
it's tough to say, but Mr. Giancarlo was great. He was a very good interview. Told us a lot about it. Basically, his thoughts are that the oil prices aren't coming back anytime soon, so that it's good to see that our companies have kind of staved it up. Yeah, they've trimmed the fat. They've staved off, bankruptcy or whatever. A lot of them have. Ron Ness made a good point. He said, if you just came visited us in January, we'd have been talking to you about 2 to 3 companies that are talking about bankruptcy right now. And now that's not the case. So things are picking back up. Things are stabilizing for the oil industry, and that's what he came up here to see. They did a rig tour up with XTO in Dunn County. So I was invited to that. I turned down a rig tour, which is something I never do, but I had no time to do it. It's a very good thing to see someone from Washington actually get out of the Beltway, come here, visit us, learn more about us, learn
Get
more
his
about
boots to the ground, get his eyeballs on what's actually happening
what makes
out
things
here.
happen. What makes things happen? What makes it go out here? Why the Bakken was such a big deal? He wanted to know why. So they set him up with some people that told him.
It's always different when you put a human face
Exactly.
to what's happening.
And he was a very, very interesting guy to talk to, very smart guy, eloquent. So I'll talk a little bit more about him in the Monkey Business segment.
Good stuff for sure. We'll come back after this with an interview in studio with the co-chair of the North Dakota Ukraine Festival, Mr. Emil Analuk.
Consolidated is committed to providing advanced network systems and service to the business world, staying ahead of the curve by offering digital technology with voice over IP, Ethernet circuits, hosted telephone systems, as well as cloud-based networking. GNet fiber technology allows us to offer internet speeds up to 1 gig, making your network more efficient. Our sales and technical team take pride in providing state-of-the-art service to our customers. At Consolidated, we're here to listen and offer the most efficient solutions for your business.
All right, folks, welcome back to Insight. Joining us today in studio, the co-chair of the North Dakota Ukrainian Festival, Mr. Emil Anlik. Emil, thanks for joining us today on the show.
Hey,
thanks for dressing up, too.
I know. Look,
You've got a big event coming up this weekend. Tell us what it's all about.
The North Dakota Ukrainian Festival kicks off on this Friday.
Awesome.
With a beer garden outside the Ukrainian Cultural Institute.
Here in Dickinson.
Here in Dickinson, yep.
Awesome. So we were talking about this before we went on the air. This event is unique to the area. We've had it here since its inception in Dickinson, Belfield area. And,
right.
And how long has it been going now? How many years?
The first, what I would call modern festival, started in 1986.
Okay.
And actually started in Medora. And then it migrated around for a few years and then settled here in Dickinson.
Sure. Okay. So 30 years we're hitting now this year.
Where it's the 31st year.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. Very
Yep.
cool.
So I guess, just tell us, what's going to go on this, what are some of the highlights of this weekend for you guys?
Well, we're going to start off with an outdoor, all ages dance and beer garden outside the Ukrainian Cultural Institute. We have the band Kramer opening for us at about 6:30.
Sure.
And then we're bringing in a band from the East Coast called Zvuk.
Say that again?
Zvuk.
How do we spell that?
It's English. You would spell it ZVOOK.
Okay, all right.
Right, and they're from the East Coast, New York way.
Nice.
And they're coming out. They're actually flying in late Thursday.
Okay.
And they're amazing. They play American stuff and Ukrainian stuff.
Sure.
So we're going to be a little heavier on the American stuff at the beer garden. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to have.
Until it
them.
gets later in the evening, I might get more Ukrainian. We'll see how it goes.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
Awesome. So that's Friday, right?
That's Friday
The
night.
thing's happening Saturday as well then?
Yeah, Saturday's actually the big day. We call it Showtime Saturday.
All right.
And we are starting at 11 a.m. at Dickinson State University, the pavilion area, that whole lawn.
Yep.
We have a whole slew of vendors and food. We have Ukrainian food. We got some Moldovan food. And then we got, your classic festival fare as well.
Sure.
And that runs from 11 to 4.
Okay.
And we're running a free to the public stage at King Pavilion where we have various Ukrainian artists we have a great guy from New York as well. His name's Julian Katasti. He's going to be playing there. Jesse Veter is actually going to be Ukrainian for a day. Yeah.
Honorary Ukrainian. Yeah.
He owed me a favor. So
There'll probably be a few this weekend. A few honorary Ukrainians. Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I was texting with her, and she's excited to be here too. So
awesome.
And we got this amazing violinist coming from Regina, Canada, and she is she's so much fun. Yeah. She's so much fun too.
Cool.
Yeah.
When I was telling my staff about it, because a lot of them are new to the area. We have a lot of young people that are kind of straight out of college. Kind of telling them about this, and I was telling my one person that's going to be covering it on Saturday. I said, "You got to go. You're going to take a lot of pictures." And Linda Seiler, who you know well, who's been with us for 45 years, she goes, "You're going to want to take your camera. You're going to want to take a lot of pictures because of the costumes, all the things that happen there. I mean, it just seems like it's such a colorful festival too."
Yeah, we're looking to kick it up a notch this year. After 30 years, this last year we've been working on a facelift of sorts and kind of bringing it into the 21st century. So we have a festival website. North Dakota Ukrainianfestival.com. It has all the information there. We also have our Facebook, and we got a Twitter account, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know, Twitter.
Ukrainian Festival on Twitter.
Yeah.
I bet in 1986 that wasn't even an idea.
No.
1986.
In 2006.
We had a CB. We had our own
radio?
CB channel.
Nice.
Welcome to
And a couple flyers,
Smoke signals, all that good stuff. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So from 11 to 4 is we have the open
pavilion.
To the pavilion stage, and that's free and open to the public, and we encourage everybody to come on down.
Yeah.
We do have a few other kind of events interspersed along that time. At 2 o'clock, we have a concert with Julian Katasti at Beck Auditorium in Kleinfelter Hall at DSU.
Okay.
And it's just a concert with him. We call him the Kobzara of the East Village, and he plays the bandura, which is the national instrument of Ukraine. I can't hardly explain it. It is a crazy instrument, and he's.
Is it like a guitar?
It's like a guitar. It's very
sitar almost.
Kinda. I can't even begin to explain it. And it is beautiful and it's amazing.
Intrigued.
And he's like the preeminent
player of the what's it called?
The bandura in all of North America.
Okay.
He's an exceptionally well-known individual, and he He was actually here in the 80s once, you know, and when we called him up, he's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, let's do this."
So that's in Beck Auditorium.
Beck Auditorium at 2 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So you can get inside, beat the heat, get some air conditioning.
Beat the heat, and then we also, of course, have our festival show that features the Ukrainian dancers Stepovi, which is our local dance group here. They're just finishing up their 2-week dance camp that we have every year, and so they're
and the kids will be performing too, right?
Yeah, the kids will be performing at the festival show, and that's 5 o'clock at Dorothy Stickney Auditorium.
Okay, the big room.
Yeah, the big room. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, we'll do some teaser performances on the main stage, but the big show is at Dorothy Stickney.
Very cool, very cool. Anything that happened that evening then, Saturday evening?
Well, yeah. After the, I know, so much going on. After the festival show at Dorothy Stickney, we got what we call Zabava, and that's just the Ukrainian word for a party and a dance, and that's at the Ramada, and that starts at 7 o'clock.
You can't beat a good Zabava.
Yeah, you can't beat a good Zabava, right? You know, and so
I'm a fan of many Zabavas. Yeah. So
you don't even know what Zabava is.
Party.
Yeah, it's a party. Yeah, it's a party.
So
yes, I'm in.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
It's a party to dance. It's like that's my life. That's what I do. That's great. I'm in. Yeah.
All right.
So that's Saturday night at the Ramada then.
Saturday night at the Ramada, 7 o'clock, and of course the band Zvuk is going to ring out the festival, and that's when we're done for the weekend. Zvuk.
We were talking about how to pronounce their name. Yeah.
And your shirt, the traditional garb, that's called what again? That's
it's a Vyshyvanka.
Vyshyvanka.
Right.
Okay. Vyshyvanka.
You know, or sorochka means shirt.
So, I can't remember all this stuff. Cream,
There's a lot of vowels. There's a lot of vowels.
It is, yeah.
A lot of vowels,
lots of V's. Lots of V's and lots of Z's. Yeah.
Lots of U's.
Yeah. So, who makes this whole thing work? You're a co-chair on this board, right?
I'm a co-chair on this board. This is the organizing committee for the North Dakota Ukrainian Festival is a joint collaboration between the Ukrainian Cultural Institute and the North Dakota Ukrainian Dance Association. Okay. Most people don't realize that we actually have 2 501c3 Ukrainian organizations here based in Dickinson, and you know, while our missions overlap, we have, you know, obviously the Ukrainian dancers are all about Ukrainian dance, and the Ukrainian Cultural Institute's about more genealogy and history and making some really amazing food. Smacznoho.
What would that be?
Smacznoho. That means like scrumptious.
Oh, okay.
Like really tasty.
I thought it was a food.
Yeah, smacznoho.
Like, I'll take 2 smacznoho.
Some old lady will be sitting there looking at you. Like,
what's wrong with you, son? Yeah. So those are the two bodies that come together.
The organizing committee is formed between those 2 organizations. And then, of course, without the support of Dickinson State University, I don't think this could happen. Dickinson State basically just opens up all the doors and says, tell us what you need, we'll make it happen. And Dr. Tom Mitzel has been amazing to work with. He's only been with us a little bit, but he gets it, he embraces it, and we're really happy that he's jumping on board.
That's a huge part of the area's history, culture, and who we are. It's important to preserve those things. It really is.
And it's really great because, you know, we get to use their grounds. They really, you know, that pavilion area is really, really nice.
It is.
So we're excited. And of course we have our other main sponsors, Ladbury Funeral Service, Town and Country Liquor, Four Corners Cafe and Catering out of Fairfield. That's my heading to the Badlands stop always. So
Sunday too, we forgot to talk about Sunday. There is stuff that happens on Sunday, correct?
Sunday is more kind of a relaxed day. It's usually centered around more of the church services. Church services in Belfield and Fairfield. So everybody is zabaved out. And moving fairly slow. They're moving fast Saturday night, slow on Sunday.
Awesome. So it kicks off this Friday. At the Cultural Institute here in Dickinson.
Beer garden starts at 5:30.
And then Saturday at DSU.
Starts at 11 o'clock.
Saturday evening at the Ramada.
And Saturday evening at 7 o'clock.
And if they want information, the website again is?
North Dakota UkrainianFestival.com.
Awesome. Fantastic. Check it out this weekend. It's a great event here in town. And like I said, a big part of our area's history and culture. For sure, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited for the community to come out and pay us a visit. And that's what we're really trying to do this year.
Get to know what it's all about.
Is get more walkthrough and just come say hi. And it's all about the budmo.
That is?
The budmo. That's our main theme.
What's the budmo?
The budmo is it's a Ukrainian word that means we are, we will be.
Okay.
You have to remember Ukraine has some pesky neighbors to the north and east. And they like to kind of like the metal, right? And so Ukrainians have this word, basically it's self-affirming. So when they say budma, it means that you can't take this away from us.
We got this.
You
We got
can't
this.
take this.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
And it's just such a great word.
Bring the family, bring the kids, check it out.
Absolutely,
this weekend
family
all around
friendly.
town.
It's going to be great.
Awesome. Thanks for coming out there. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Rob.
Absolutely.
You bet. For sure. Pleasure's all ours.
Yeah, you bet.
We'll see you guys come back after this. We'll look at the week ahead right here on Insight.
A bundle from Consolidated is your local choice for internet, TV, and phone at a better value. Our internet is now faster than ever with GNet technology. Get affordable, consistent speeds now up to 1 gig. Our state-of-the-art TV connections deliver more HD choices and convenient DVR options, including TiVo. Our local phone service keeps you in touch for less, all backed by exceptional 24-hour support. Make the local choice for a better value by bundling. Call or visit Consolidated online today.
All right, folks, welcome back to Insight Time for a look at the week week ahead. I'm getting mixed up today. Week ahead. Things coming up. Yeah, it's been a tough day for me here, struggling a little bit. But kicking things off though, Dustin, there's a YouTube star going to be in the area, correct?
Well, she is. She lives in Dickinson.
Yeah.
She's gal of Haitian descent.
Okay.
And she has a cooking show on YouTube. We're going to do a story on her on Sunday.
Okay.
Her name is Lamisa, and she's really great gal. And she cooked for one of our reporters as she did the story.
Very
and
cool.
we'll have a video and a story on her. And she's got a great story.
It's amazing what a format and medium that has become, and how people can make a living off it.
She doesn't make a living off it. She has a full-time job,
Yeah.
obviously. She just does this once a week.
Yeah.
And I mean, a couple of her videos have like thousands and thousands of hits. Some of them not so much, but some of she literally you watch her make the food, and it's really cool.
She make Haitian food, Haitian cuisine.
Haitian cuisine.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's really cool.
Very cool. We've had on the show before here from GLG Architects, Rob
Remark,
talking about the renovations and the big remodel of the Stark County Courthouse.
Right.
Seems like that's going to get a little closer to reality here this week.
Yeah, it sounds like on Friday we're going to probably see our Stark County commissioners approve the renovation plan and the money that they're planning to spend. Yeah, the whole budget, everything. They're going to have a couple meetings. They had one meeting already this week, a couple more meetings just with their building committees and stuff, and then the building committee is going to take it to the Stark County Commission during a special meeting on Friday to get this thing started, get it moving forward.
Okay.
So Stark County Courthouse is 80 years old this year. Yeah. It is, if you've ever been in there, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you get in trouble. You have to go to the courthouse every once in a while. but I've spent quite a bit of time there in my years, working here, and especially the last couple of years.
If you ever go to vote, sometimes you vote there.
Vote there. I vote there pretty much all the time. But, it just is a place that needs a little bit of renovation. We are running out of room there. We got some staff. The county has some staff there that are in smaller offices.
There's also concerns too with the police control there when you take inmates in and out.
The inmates have to walk right through with the rest of the crowd sometimes, and that's just not what you want out of a courthouse anymore. So, that's part of the whole thing is they'll be able to kind of usher inmates in and out a lot simpler, a lot easier, and it'll be a better idea. And then another story we have coming up this weekend is from our reporter up in Williston, Amy Dalrymple. It kind of ties in locally here is the Highway 85 4-lane project that's happening or that's being proposed. They're going to have a meeting in Belfield.
Forever.
Well, it's starting to inch closer to reality now.
So 85 from Canada all the way to...
No, this would be just from Watford City.
This is a different plan.
So from Watford City to Williston, it's 4-lane.
Yeah.
Okay. So this would be from Watford City to Belfield. This project would be 62 miles from Belfield to Watford City, where the new interchange loops you around Watford City now, which is great, by the way. I love Watford City, but it's great to loop around it instead of having to go and sit through. That was a 15-minute ordeal some days. But what this meeting will be at 5 o'clock on Monday in Belfield. We'll have a preview on that this weekend. Not exactly sure what day, but be sure to check it out. So.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Dustin, what's happening this week in monkey business?
Well, each week I give my thoughts on something happening in our area. On Monday, I covered a conversation between one of the nation's top commodities regulators, a U.S. senator, and two of North Dakota's biggest oil mines, top oil mines. Christopher Giancarlo of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission visited Dickinson and spoke with Senator Heidi Heitkamp, North Dakota Petroleum Council President Ron Ness, and Justin Bethencourt, ConocoPhillips' operations superintendent for the Bakken. The three North Dakotans gave Giancarlo a crash course in North Dakota oil and energy, and then they discussed just what that business means to the state. Giancarlo's take on the oil business is simple and, frankly, a pretty popular opinion. He believes oil prices will stay steady, but probably won't be climbing back to $100 a barrel anytime soon. He cited the sluggish world economy and the oil industry's own innovations as reasons why it'll likely never employ as many people in the state as it did a few years ago. He called oil companies a victim of their own success because of the innovation that they sparked during the Bakken and Eagle Ford shale booms. Most of what Giancarlo said, most of us already knew. He was just saying it a little more eloquently than many of us do. But here's what we should really take from his visit. Giancarlo came to North Dakota and other Great Plains states recently because he wanted to see what his commission is dealing with from the ground level. He wasn't just here to learn about oil. He also met with wheat and cattle producers in both North Dakota and South Dakota. While the Commodity Futures Trading Commission isn't exactly a household name in the U.S., and it doesn't roll off the tongue either, it's still an important regulatory group. So it's promising to see a Washington regulator like Giancarlo actually leave the Beltway, visit us here in Flyover State, and learn more about what makes us tick, especially when what makes us tick is the very thing that he's regulating. We need more DC folks to do the same, more regulators. Get out of your bubble, come out here to the Plains State, find out what's really making America move forward.
That's an interesting take. I never thought about the whole oil boom. The innovation making them victims of their own success. I never thought about it like that. It's a very, it's a very interesting take because of the horizontal drilling and the pads.
The multi-well pads
how much
is the
they can
biggest
take
thing.
out.
Yeah.
And it was maybe just too much, maybe.
Well, yeah. And what's one of the most interesting things that arose from that conversation, I guess I didn't talk about it, was that we talked about the Saudis and what they're doing right now. The Saudis obviously kind of like set the tone for the oil business. How they go, the rest of the world kind of goes. They're doing what we're doing here in North Dakota, and they're investing in value-added infrastructure. There's aluminum plants, and Heitkamp has visited Saudi Arabia, Giancarlo has visited Saudi Arabia. They're investing in aluminum plants over there at the well sites, near the well sites. The oil coming out of the ground is powering the electricity for these aluminum plants. They are exporting the aluminum, the Saudi Arabians are. So that's just another way for them to make money off of oil.
Yeah.
So they're doing what we're trying to do here with petrochemicals, with LNG, all these different things that we're trying to do here in North Dakota, fertilizers, what have you. Some of the byproducts we're trying to make off of natural gas and oil.
Everyone's like, oh, oil, it's gas, diesel.
It's
a
lot
more than that.
So all of that stuff that we're doing, the Saudi Arabians are doing too. So when you kind of take that into consideration, you see that, okay, they're planning long-term too for the prices to kind of stay the same way here. So you're not going to see it jump back up to 75 bucks a barrel.
The new reality
It is the new reality for a while. And that's what, $100 a barrel was the new reality for a while at one point.
It's a commodity.
Exactly. It goes up, it goes down. Wheat's $3.75 a bushel right now, so what's the difference? It all goes up, it all goes down.
$11, whatever it was.
Well, it was $8.
Whatever it was.
Durham was 18 at one point, I remember, and that was just ridiculous. And that was a good year, but it's just that it's not the norm. Once something goes up like that, it doesn't stay up, and people need to realize that. Don't go buy your boat just because you got 6 months of flush, but it's that's basically what he's saying is
maybe buy a used boat.
Yeah, but the world, and he said the big thing too is the world economy. The elections are going to be a big deal in the world economy. Brexit.
You have two extremely opposite views on how to run a nation and the energy industry and the economy in general.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't have any more polar opposites right now. I don't think when it comes to those things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really, we didn't touch on the politics there too much, but it's true. What he's saying is true, is that the U.S., everything that happens here, and I've said it a million times, everything that happens here is dependent on big picture things, on the rest of the world. So as they go, we go.
Well, it only makes sense. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
So.
Big thanks to our guest this week, the co-chair of the North Dakota Ukraine Festival, Ian Lanlick, and you're talking about the big festival this week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around the area.
Right.
A lot to check out there. Be sure to get to the Pavilion at DSU, the Culture Institute.
It's a good time. Like I said, take your camera. It's a very colorful, fun event.
Get to know more about some of the heritage of the area for sure, folks. We'll see you guys next week right here on Insight.